Welcome to the Haverhill Journal, where we give you a quick look at what's going on in our city. I'm Lindsay Paris, and this week it's President's Day, and the Journal has got the scoop on the commanders-in-chief who've hightailed it up here to Haverhill, plus a nationally recognized art show at the Boys and Girls Club, and the chance for you to share your love of the written word coming up. But first, pom-poms were shaking and basketballs flying as Haverhill's star young basketball players and cheerleaders gathered for the middle school basketball final and Ellen Easton cheerleading exhibition on Tuesday, February 10th. The Journal was at the championship as parents, students, and friends filled the stands to root these talented kids on. School spirit was loud and proud as cheerleaders from all four Haverhill public middle schools plus Sacred Hearts and St. Joseph's opened the evening, displaying their carefully choreographed routines at the Ellen Easton cheerleading exhibition.
What did you think about the competition tonight? Did you guys do a good job?
I really liked it, yeah. It was really fun. It was definitely something worth doing, you know.
Participation in the cheer program has grown to 125 kids this year, and they danced, tumbled, and shouted to the delight of their own personal cheering squads lining the bleachers.
How do you guys like cheering? What do you love about cheering?
I just love the fact, I love the music, and I love how, the dances. I love it. That's the one, when I'm in a cheer team, that's the one place where I feel loved and stuff, so. I love that we all work as a team, and, we accomplish everything we need to, and we look really good and professional, and that's what I like.
After the cheerleading exhibition, the mats were rolled up and the basketball players took the floor. 175 girls and boys from all 6 middle schools played in the basketball program this year, all leading up to this night. Teams from St. Joseph's and Sacred Hearts competed for the city's girls basketball championship game, which saw St. Joseph's take home the trophy with a final score of 27-22. Nettle and Constantino faced off for the boys basketball championship, and with both teams giving it their all, scores were close throughout. But Constantino pulled ahead in the end and won, 47-35.
I think the kids played a great game. Nettle played really tough. They were undefeated this year. We prepped for them for a couple weeks, and I thought my kids came out and played a heck of a game, for sure.
But throughout the course of the year, I think we have close to 1,000 participants, countless coaches, staff members that help out with it. And, as you can see here tonight, it's well worth it. Good turnout.
Love seeing those kids so proud and excited. Congratulations to all the cheer and basketball players who participated for their hard work. Next Monday is, of course, President's Day. But did you know that no less than 10 presidents have visited Haverhill, 7 of them while in office? In honor of this prestigious holiday, the Journal's Shayna Richards headed out to trace the hometown footsteps of these great leaders.
You may know this area as Washington Landing Park, but you may not know that 226 years ago, George Washington landed here for his first trip to Haverhill. Sworn into office in April of 1789 as our nation's first president, he soon traveled from New York to Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and ended up visiting Haverhill on November 4th and 5th, 1789. He was accompanied by 3 men, a servant, his secretary, and a friend, and traveled simply by open carriage drawn by 4 horses. On the morning of November 5th, he inspected the 100-man militia and took the ferry across the Merrimack from Haverhill to Bradford on his 9-mile journey to breakfast at Abbott's Tavern in Andover. In the wake of his visit, the city named a street and a square in his memory. A granite marker in front of the post office in Washington Square notes the historic visit. A statue of Washington is located in the Haverhill Public Library as well. The second president to visit Haverhill was James Polk, the 11th U.S. president. While campaigning for a second term in office, his train stopped at the Haverhill Depot in 1846. The third president here was Ulysses S. Grant, the 18th president, who also visited in his second term. The fourth president to visit Haverhill was Benjamin Harrison, the 23rd U.S. president. He visited Haverhill on August 8, 1889, followed by a parade from the Pentucket Light Infantry and a political group called the Brothers Jonathan. An estimated crowd of 10,000 people gathered at Railroad Square to cheer the president as he accepted flowers from his car. Next, Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th U.S. President, visited the city. He arrived in Haverhill on August 26, 1902. Accompanied by Haverhill native and Secretary of the Navy, William Moody, the president spoke briefly to a crowd estimated at 40,000 about the importance of the Navy. Roosevelt was well versed in this topic as he had previously served as Navy Secretary under McKinley and written a history of the Naval War of 1812. His full speech is reported in the Haverhill Gazette Evening Edition of August 26, 1902. Roosevelt campaigned again for president and visited Haverhill on the morning of April 29, 1912. His brief speech extolled the progressive values of his Republican Square Deal. On this same day, crowds of 15,000 gathered in drizzling rain in Washington Square to greet President William Taft and hear his re-election campaign speech on the eve of the primary. Here at Haverhill train station, on an ordinary day like today, it's not too crowded. But back on October 17, 1952, a crowd of 8,000 gathered in this spot to see President Harry Truman speak. Haverhill Mayor Joseph Willett proclaimed the day Truman Day in honor of his appearance. Accompanied by local Democratic dignitaries on his train trip from Plaistow, New Hampshire, he arrived at the Haverhill Depot shortly after noontime, spoke briefly about his candidate for President Stevenson, and introduced his daughter, Margaret. I'll bet you never would have imagined all these historic figures setting foot in the city of Haverhill. As you can see, several U.S. presidents left their footprint in Haverhill. We wish you a happy President's Day. For the Haverhill Journal, I'm Shayna Richards.
Who knew Haverhill was such a mecca of presidential activity? We'll just have to wait and see which president will visit next. Judging has begun for the Boys and Girls Club National Fine Arts Exhibit Program, and New England region judges made a stop here in town last week. Haverhill Boys and Girls Club members from ages 6 to 18 have created over 25 pieces in 8 categories for the contest. Regional finalists will have their work sent to the Boys and Girls Club of America National Headquarters for the chance to be selected for their National Fine Arts exhibit. Creative Haverhill and the Paint and Wine Lounge are joining hands to host their first Poetry Open Mic Night on Thursday, February 26th. Writers of all ages are encouraged to share their poetry and prose from 6:30 to 8 p.m. After 8, the open mic will continue for adults ages 18 plus. Reading should be kept to about 7 minutes or less. The event is taking place at the Paint and Wine Lounge at 57 Wingate Street. To reserve your time slot, email jenny@haverhillchamber.com or visit Creative Haverhill's Facebook page. If you have a story or event you'd like to see featured on the Haverhill Journal, call us at 978-372-8070 or email info@mediahc.org. And don't forget to like us on Facebook or at our YouTube channel, HCTV Haverhill. And that's what's happening in Haverhill the week of February 12th. I'm Lindsay Paris, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.